At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
The Black Heritage Day app. Download today on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Sarah Lewis Vaughn was born on this day.
Hi, this is Jeremiah. John H. Johnson was born.
But today, let us not forget our debt to Toussaint Louverture.
Enola McMillan was born on this day in 1904.
Marshall Major Taylor was born in Indianapolis, Indiana on November.
Occurred on this day, December 20th, 1860.
Work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like It or Not starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. Rebecca Azor, how you doing? Looking like sunshine. The sunshine shining in the back. You got the sunshine colors on. What's happening?
Sunshine.
Oh,
whatever that song go. But by Maze and
that
Frankie.
Song go. Joy.
No, that's not what I. Oh, joy and pain. No, joy. That's like that. And pain.
There it is.
It's like sunshine and rain. Thank you for getting me together. Thank you for this joy.
There it is.
And yeah, I know that. Thank you for getting me together. I can't disrespect Maze and Frankie Beverly because we
God bless
Frankie
them.
Beverly and Maze. That group was named Maze and Frankie Beverly, but Black folks say
Frankie Beverly and Maze.
That's ridiculous. We'll never do right. We'll never do right. We'll never. Somebody said nobody, and then Black folks. Is it over there raining by y'all? Somebody who's in another country. We always be like, is it over there raining by y'all? Let's ask the person, is it raining? You know, it's so like, why
we're gonna do it the way we want to do it. We're gonna say it the way we want to say it.
Is it over there raining by y'all? First of all, this person is in Japan. you're so, like, why? Why are you doing that? Hey to you. Good morning, guys. And how are you been? How was your weekend? I know we didn't catch up with you guys on Saturday. Tired and catching up on some of the work. I'm dropping a video today. Ben, you dropped a new series, which I think is amazing. Tell us about it.
I didn't even tell you about the you know what it is? It's me coming into my full self, Rebecca. I am, and for some time I've had to be equal parts ignorant and enlightened, peaceful and at war. So today, actually, I'm dropping videos that are just kind of, honestly, I'm going for blood. I'm coming for MAGA in such a way that, in the name of Jesus, I really, God forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to gut them and fillet them and leave them for rhetorical dead when I'm done with this video series. But then on the other side, the one I'm really happy about and excited about is the Hey Pastor Ben series. We have been getting emails and DMs from people who are looking for not just advice, Rebecca, advice politically, with this, a lot of folks who are struggling with what it is to be a Christian in this MAGA era of MAGA nationalist Christianity. People who are just, sometimes folks just needed somebody to listen to and talk to.
It's true.
And so I'm going to share the good, though I think there's some really heartwarming conversations. And so while on the one hand, I'm going to jab these devils, and on the other hand, it's really good to see people kind of honestly, I'm not going to say pour their souls out, because I know there's so many layers to people. So they're not sharing everything with me, but they're certainly sharing a huge part of them with me. And I'm happy to read and reply to them. And then they've given me permission, those that gave me permission to share. And that's what we're going to start doing. So that's coming up today.
No, I love that. I think that's going to actually be helpful. It's almost a form of ministry. I think that a lot of people who do work in the space right now need to balance it out, and knowing that you're helping people, even if it's just one by one individually or however, I think that is the bigger picture. I want to make sure that I'm not sowing discords, like division and malpractice of people's souls, or mental, or just misinformation, just because this is something that the salaciousness it wins. I want to be if I'm going to be responsible in the space, I want to be responsible to make you kiki, to love on you, and also to combat the misinformation in the political space as well. I know it's hard to balance out for some people who, like we were just discussing, who want to be in a place of, I don't want to be online, but again, I got to know what I'm doing. And we're combating the Shade Room, which I don't know if we saw this particular last few days. They have been up in flames on the internet. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. What's going on with them?
They
good for them. I'm sorry. I don't. They.
I'll tell you, they've been blocked for 2 years by me. I decided 2 years ago, which feels like just yesterday. I remember when I decided, I was like, I just can't. And maybe it's because, and y'all know, because if y'all been following this show long enough, we have had our grievances with the Shade Room. We used to actually post up their stuff as our source of, information at one point. But it went from being our source of information to being just a full-on salacious site to being
pro MAGA. I'll say it.
Thank you, Ben. I'll
say it. Let them come after me. I saw the games they were playing. You could tell. I don't know if they got a check, but certainly a whole lot of people
I ain't getting one.
Their tune.
I ain't getting one from them. So yeah. So basically, what happened with the Shade Room? So you're right, Ben. I could speak up and say they're pro MAGA. I ain't never scared.
Come on.
I done blocked them for 2 years. That energy ain't been on me. But the Shade Room actually was under fire on social media, and the only social media that I'm pretty much on is Threads. Sorry to Blue Sky that I check in every once a year, but I'm on Threads, and
It's so hard to click over there.
It's just nobody can tell me. And of course, this is a pause from the story that we're going to go to, and that's very important. But every time I logs into Blue Sky, it's just like, hello. Anybody here? Hello. Then you got to be like, whoop. And then you hear, there it is. And you be like, oh, okay.
Some people are here. Some people are here.
Some of my people are up in here. Stock passe. Like, that's how you realize your people are in the room. And so, Ben, is this your email?
No, I was trying to do it without. I didn't realize it's gonna be so big and bulky and ugly. Shame on StreamYard for making banners this ugly. But was somebody in the chat room said? Brandy said, hang on, Brandy touched my heart real quick. I'm so sorry, we're all over the place. Said my soul has a leak. And so I was like, email me, heypastorben@gmail.com.
Okay.
That's the only reason I did it.
For the any of the comments that want to speak and talk to us. Now, Ben is doing this very great segment. I think it's going to be great. It's because it was right here.
Okay,
it's Hey Pastor Ben. It's heypastorben@gmail.com. This is our commercial. Heypastorben@gmail.com for any of our viewers who have questions, want anything answered, even want any advice from Pastor Ben on how to maneuver in the space or anything else that's in general.
Hey, let me
Pastor
tell you what I
Ben.
don't do though. What I don't do, and I'm going to see this to you is, if you need advice on like marriage, I got you. But like just regular life and relationships and all that regular stuff, like you go out and see Rebecca over here on this side, because I don't, I kind of got married at the right young age of 30. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
You were
Rebecca.
30?
Yeah, 29.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so
well, I'm 35. Don't ask me for nothing. No relation. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in these streets, and I'm out of the streets, but we're trying to figure out. But anyway,
I know you can bring yourself back because we were on Threads and but then
I'm gonna bring it back because I got my notes right up here.
Yeah.
And so I was on Threads and I saw that the congregation on Threads, as they always do, began to flip and find something to hold on to and make noise about. And a few days ago, I want to say 2 days ago, was that a day ago? I want to say it was 2 days ago, the rally on Donald Trump's birthday.
Saturday, so 2 days ago now.
So they were covering it. Okay, it was Saturday. So they were covering it. And I don't know, but I've seen people post, and it was since been deleted by the Shade Room, but Google hasn't forgotten. So even though they tried to delete the body of it, the skeleton and the code of that story still lives on. And it's basically the Shade Room had posted first in their stories, happy birthday to Donald Trump. And then they said rain where, or the rain don't stop. It's a simple Google, Ben. If you Google the Shade Room and Donald Trump, I think it'll come up as their first story. It's like the rain ain't stopping nothing type of thing, as Donald Trump is still going on with his parade. And while some people may think it's them being unbiased, that's not true, especially with a primarily Black liberal audience, I would say. And right now they've moved from being mostly millennials who created that platform to Generation Z. And I only bring this up because...
Queen, if you could drop a link.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Okay, no problem. It may be probably fully deleted now, but I had Googled it and I said, the devil works, but God works harder. And so let me see. The Shade Room. But I say that to say, here we go. The Shade Room, a story about Trump parade.
I can see some of it though. Hang on. I can see it in the search engine, but it doesn't give me the whole thing.
Oh, they changed up the title and everything. It's not even it. Trump military parade to start amid. It wasn't that. It said no rain on his parade. They basically were saying
I can show
like
you one hang on, look at this one though, because this is the one they have deleted. Watch as I click through this one.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the post itself. They deleted, and there was a
fearless patriot guiding our nation into the true golden age of American prosperity.
Absolutely.
How, Sway?
Absolutely.
How?
That's the one. It was his birthday post, and that was also they had a full article write up for it, for that post. And what happened was they removed it. So. Is there a black sky feed? No, blue sky. I don't know, John. What's black sky?
He's just messing with you.
Oh, don't confuse me. Anywho, these are the things that the Shade Room does. They amplify Trump without any pushback, right? The pushback isn't enough for them to have stopped because they've been doing this for a very long time. Their relationship with the White House, even with Kamala Harris, sometimes I was like, it was too like, are we calling her out? And at times they were not saying things that they should when they should have spoken up. The interviews were very lackluster. They weren't things that were pulling out information out of the potential candidates, but there was very, very pro MAGA things happening. They've been posting videos and quotes from Trump, including his Juneteenth comment and his recently Black targeted campaigns. They post them, the ads, they post them, and nobody's been saying anything. So many have been talking about this as it being irresponsible. They've been saying that this has been damaging. However, no pushback really happens, and nobody goes to really consume their news outside of the shade room. And when I say nobody, I mean in this particular age group. Millennials are fleeing, like the Great Migration, out from the shade room and into spaces and following people that have more of, credible, sources and things of that sort. The shade room is just a very big blog site that has access to huge spaces. Over 25 million people are within that site. And again, they went from a millennial audience to now a Generation Z audience. So they platform conservative voices. Is there something wrong with platforming conservative voices in this day and age in 2025? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're giving space to right-wing or adjacent like figures like Candace Owens, Larry Elder, and other people like the Breakfast Club does, without any context, without any pushback, without any challenge. And they're saying like, oh, we're just a space to be free. But yet I've seen when they've had liberal people on there, they go down their throat. They ask them questions. They actually do a little bit of research on the person that's coming to sit there. We've seen this on the Breakfast Club. Once again, we've seen this on the Shade Room. But when when right-wing people come up, there's not really a challenge. But you as a Black journalist and who is covering from a Black platform, it is a disservice when you are not challenging the people who are absolutely anti-Black, doing anti-Black law, and platforming them in this space where people are just saying, well, people just don't think alike. It is not just that. It is not just that. You are telling folks that it is okay to platform people that look at you and think ER. And think you don't deserve, and are actively signing bills and walking in spaces and places that do not see you as a person. That is problematic. So again, it's sparked concern. Now, the third thing that I have pointed out is the audience misinformation. When you do not provide fact checks and disclaimers, it is adjacent, if not equal to, X, formerly Twitter. So it begins to basically where you boost up the content that is misleading followers. We don't have that information check tag on Instagram. So the Shade Room there is the post right there, Ben, right there. Great search. So this is one of the posts, excuse me for the thought, but I seen that come up. But this is the post that the Shade Room had initially posted and they deleted. This is their happy birthday, President Donald J. Trump. And they reposted the White House's quote, of course, happy birthday, Donald Trump, which he probably wrote to himself, 45th and 47th President of the United States, a fearless patriot guiding our nation into the true. That's what you were reading. And this is the true golden era or age of American prosperity and strength. That ain't for him. Now, what I will say is why the Shade Room posted that. Because they get a check. Salaciousness, views, rage baiting. It gives you some money. And we're going to go to who owns the Shade Room and things of that sort in a second. But the Shade Room, it basically boosts these types of content and it mislead their followers. Many who are not aware of the political undertones. You know this, and I know this best. People are dumb.
Wait a minute.
People are dumb. They are ignorant on purpose because it's coming from their favorite page, their favorite person, like if Kanye says something right now, people are gonna be so dumb and be like, that's just Kanye. Yeah, I miss the old Kanye, but you gotta know he creative. You know what I'm saying? He, Kanye always been that man. People don't really see him for who he is, but I recognize him. See, we're going to get that, and they're going to believe everything he says and take it as Bible. Some people look at the platform, the Shade Room, as such. They'll say, y'all ain't hear about this and this and this and this. And like, where'd you get that from? The Shade Room. You should definitely double check your information because I am 100% sure it is MAGA led, MAGA centered. And it's just something that's giving them a coin. And it's either that or them posting things that are shady, which is the shade room. Also, the algorithm and engagement, that's what they focus on over the ethics of everything, right? Some people are arguing that they're chasing engagement. Some people are saying that, and they know that it's political content, but it's the controversial takes that they're taking as a black page. I know they started as gossip, but there's never a challenge anywhere. They don't feel the need to challenge, just to rage bait. But it generates the high traffic. And what does high traffic generate? Which I wish we had over here on our page, but soon come. It generates dollars. And then what that man said, Juicy J, bands will make her dance. Bands will make her dance. Yeah, that's what.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. I almost got out of character there. Go on.
Bands is gonna make me dance. So the shade room has been shucking and jiving for a Donald Trump. How Nene said it? Trump checks. Signing Trump checks. That's more important than actually leading Black people and giving them more information, telling them how to fight, telling them how to get themselves together in this time that is going to exclude them. That's going to exclude them. Now, here's a key part that people don't know, and I know that in this latest video I'm going to drop, it's going to be about the xenophobia around this Trump ban that's coming from the Black American group of people who are FBA or consider themselves ADOS, or just not wanting to, using this moment just to bring out xenophobia, saying that they're a part of the 92%, which that shouldn't lead you to be xenophobic, because 92% are a part of all the other countries and nations. Anyway, but you'll see that in my video that's going to drop later on today after this show. But I want you guys to know that the owner of the Shade Room is a Nigerian woman. That's not to go blast her. That's not to go disrespect her. And Jessie Wu did talk about that in that post that you just put up, Ben. It's basically that she is an African woman that does not use social media. And I'm going to give you a little backstory. I covered this. And this is not for you to be like, oh, she's Nigerian. I'm telling you why it's problematic, because while she is Nigerian, she's American, right? She's an American woman. She's like me. And she made this. She is the owner of it. She is the person that, has people working for her, but she does not be on social media. She doesn't cover what goes on it or in it or around it, but she's responsible for this platform being what it is. The only time that she's gotten online, people can recognize her after years, was when Cardi B had called out the platform for misinformation on her, and she got legal involved. And she said, I don't even want to go after the people who reported this on me. I want to go after the person who owns it and who's allowing this misinformation to come onto this platform. I remember this a few years ago, earlier on in the beginning of the pandemic. Cardi B went against the woman, the wind down with that one wind down lady, Tasha K, and sued her, and also went after the Shade Room. And they went on, I remember on Twitter, Cardi B was like, I'm calling you out specifically, and added her. That woman came from her rock. This woman who owns it came from her rock, where she's not even on social media because of her own mental, but is owning a platform that creates where people just consume so much misinformation, hate, disrespect, all kinds of things in one space. And this is not the only space. The Shade Room is just one of so many. And she came out there just to go back and forth with Cardi B. She came from her rock, from her vacation. I think she said, I'm actually on vacation, and I logged into this Twitter account just so I can address you. She said that to her. And so this is what I'm saying.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Host. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethost.com/terms.
It's problematic to know that even the person who owns it doesn't want to consume what's on this page, takes your dollars, goes on vacation, make sure that her husband, her children, all the people don't consume what's happening on the Shade Room, yet they still create this dangerous space of misinformation towards Black people to keep them dumb, to keep them ignorant, to keep them angry, to keep them in a discord that is very divisive, to also keep them in diaspora wars, which you being a Nigerian woman is crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. You cannot be the person that is a Nigerian that I understand probably been through so much, creating something that is going to be beneficial to Black people as a whole, that can bring the diaspora together. And yet you are the sole provider for one day you celebrating the Haitian flag, to the next post being MAGA, to the next post praising Donald Trump, who is saying that Haitians are the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Black immigrants, and Africans are right there with them, and you are okay with this. And then the comment sections are nothing but diaspora wars, disrespecting every Black immigrant group.
Come on, come with it.
And then they begin to say disrespect Americans, Black Americans. Why do we want that kind of discord within a Black-owned page?
Come on. Because it pays good money, Queen. It pays good money.
It pays good money.
And listen, I don't mean to cut you off because you're on a tear. And I actually absolutely love it. I'm here for it. Shout out to you. Read that comment I left you in the private chat, though, because you're going to laugh.
Oh, okay.
That said, when you said that she doesn't even consume her own product, reminds me of a good drug dealer. Drug dealers, you could poison the entire community, right? But you ain't gonna take your own product. It sounds like that's what she's doing. That's number one. Then two, you keep using that word discord, and it is so perfect for this. Let me make sure I got the translation that this is the wrong translation. I got to get it for you in the King James version, because you know me, because I do believe earnestly that a lot of what we're dealing with is spiritual wickedness in high places. Let me show you exactly what she's doing and what the Shade Room does right here on y'all screen. 6 things the Lord doth hate, yet 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imagination, feet that be swift running towards mischief. That's the Shade Room. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord amongst the brethren. That's the Shade Room. That's all. Go ahead. Finish doing
No, Ben, that's absolutely what it is. And I think that if people understand that this is what they're doing, is sowing discord, they need to move away from it. Now, I can name other places. You have Spiritual Word, who actually started off, and you please pull up Spiritual Word. So I want y'all to know, I'm going to give y'all a little basis of what it started off as and what it is today. Spiritual Word, being a page, and I don't even know who runs it, but we know it's a Black person. Don't know if they're male or female. Wasn't able to get that much information up until now. I didn't dig deep enough, because all I knew is that when Spiritual Word started about 10 years ago, I was living in New York City, in Brooklyn. Sheesh. And they used to be people who were combating what was online at the time, and it wasn't even that bad then, but putting up things that were just Bible verses, and there used to be a quote page and a Bible verse page and that type of thing. And then they became a page that was cussing people out while posting Bible verses. And then what it did was bring two sides of the world together, where people was like, well, damn, shit, I can read the Bible verse and still, and still they cussing folks out. This is what I like to see. And then, so that's how they started beginning their money. Then they started taking the Shade Rooms, the Shade Rooms formula, and then that's how they started to win. Mm-hmm. So they've mixed in a lot of it. They've mixed in the Shade Room formula. They mixed in their own Bible verses every now and again. And that is what is happening. We're seeing that when it's the Spiritual Word, then there's whichever one that man owns. I forget, Jason Lee. Hollywood Unlocked.
Yes, Hollywood Unlocked. While you fix your camera, let me pull up Hollywood Unlocked. You know what? And we've actually discussed this, Rebecca, while you fixing your camera. They are masters of the bait and switch. what they will do, they'll draw you in exactly like you said. They'll draw you in. What's my brother name? Not my brother, but Jason Lee, Hollywood Unlocked. And then they go into some foolishness, like some high key. And it's one thing. I think what we have to be mindful of is that we kind of allow them to bring that gossipy, messy kind of foolishness to the mainstream through social media. And then we were shocked when they flipped and turned from that into misinformation machines, right? And then who's going to pay you the best money to be a misinformation machine? Trump, MAGA. Yeah. I don't know if all these people are getting paid specifically, but even if they're not getting a check directly from MAGA, they're certainly getting money off the misinformation, because that's what drives the internet right now in MAGA land.
Absolutely. And when you are doing the work, right? People get online and be like, they're doing this for Black people and they're doing this for whatever. I think that we need things to stay for the culture. Growing up, having our Tom Joyners, our Michael Baisdens, people who were on the radio who would interview Black people. And if they would have a debate, it would be one that would be informative. And even if they would leave that debate upset, somebody would be able to choose a side from whatever. But they always platformed Black people, Black journalists, Black actors, Black singers in the space. It's always been that, as light skinned as Tom Joyner is, right? He was one of the Blackest to ever do it in that space. And when he was curating anything political, he made sure to keep it a buck. What was going to help people and what was not. I've seen that growing up. So can it be done? 100%. Has it been done? 100%. If we can even go back to an RIP, Ananda Lewis, who died, who was an MTV host and used to be on Teen Summit on BET, the short-lived show on BET. But even then, the beginning of BET, when well, for the millennials, we know, for us coming up and watching, even the 80s babies, yeah, millennials too. But just even in that space, just seeing even the late 70s, I give it to y'all too. But even in that, just seeing what was happening in that time, where we had a space where they were curating conversations, even when we were seeing Al Sharpton shucking and jiving, plus size Al Sharpton in the windbreakers that made
I was gonna say
with the perm that sat real nice, and he used to be cussing the cameras out, knowing he was stealing people money. But we would see that on BET. We was covering that. I remember the nightly news, and I want to say, what was that woman's name? Such a beautiful woman with the short haircut. They used to give us news. They used to put it at 11 o'clock at night, but they were doing news with her, a Black woman with the short haircut. I'm not talking about Cedar's World. I'm talking about the actual woman where, with the short. That is not the woman I'm talking about, but that is Al Sharpton. If people don't recognize, I know they only know Al Sharpton today. That is our Sharpton that used to steal people money and look at the camera.
Wait. Now we don't know. Allegedly.
I'm going to say allegedly. Allegedly. But he used to, I didn't have nothing wrong with it at the time. I wasn't mad at it, because he said to the camera, ain't the other people stealing our money? The way he used to say, he was young and not playing with folks. I will say that. But we had news where they were covering what was happening in the Black communities, and they were not shucking and jiving and I think right now would be a pivotal time for that formula to be winning right now. Because we were getting our entertainment, we were getting our news, even though they were pushing the news segments to the late night. But we were getting our entertainment, we were getting our news, where we had a place where it was functioning, and where it wasn't only that, where we had our own shows and where we would have conversation and magazines and things. And I think this is the very time for us to be able to have our own. Juneteenth should not be something that white people have the day off for. I got an email saying the front office is going to be closed where I live. Not y'all white folks. It's not one Black person that work in the front. What are you taking the day off to go do?
Woo!
What are you doing? We need to have our Black electives and congregations and universities, because right now, MAGA Marva should not be dipping into the state funding for FAMU so that they can honor her paycheck for the year, her salary. Do you understand what I'm saying, Ben?
I hear that. Yes, I'm here. I hear what you're saying, Rebecca.
And Ben ain't getting sued.
I'm tuning in to you. I'm just agreeing. Go ahead. Don't let me slow you down.
But I'm saying, right now we're looking at and Marva Johnson who is now not randomly politically placed at Florida A&M University on behalf of MAGA to do their dirty work, to show that they will dismantle schools, not only countries, not only cities, not only states, not only programs, but they will dismantle Black schools as well.
Come on.
We keep letting white folks in and we keep shucking and jiving and doing their dirty work. There will be nothing that the audience can do, right, to combat this when it's time, because they so dumb, they're so ignorant, they don't know, they're not being led to fight, they're being led to consume misinformation, propaganda, things that are anti-Black, packaged in the way that's it's policy, and it's not true. Lots of division, lots of stress, lots of I don't care, I'm just gonna rest, I'm just gonna do this, and I am all about resting, but to pick up your microphone, to pick up your computer, your tablet, your telephone, and to put into the space that is feeding you negativity, feeding you misinformation, and to put back and give back from what you're consuming, xenophobia.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
To spew out more misinformation, to spew out more hate on behalf of MAGA is literally the plan. That's what it is. This woman, they're digging into the funding that goes for Florida A&M itself. And they're putting this heifer, this literally a MAGA placement, a Black MAGA placement with a bad wig, a Candace Owens, if you will. And that's even a disrespect to Candace Owens.
Hey, listen.
Who Marva is. We don't know her. We don't know her. Came out of nowhere. But she is a Republican pick, Ron DeSantis pick out of Florida. And she has a certain salary that she wanted after coming in last minute into for the candidate for president at Florida A&M University, my alma mater, the #1 HBCU in the nation that is trying to be sucked dry by MAGA and their goal to take down historical Black colleges and universities, Black education, Black history. And they're doing it from the top. They're not even going from the. They ain't even doing from the bottom, Ben, at BCU. They're doing it from the top.
Oh, you messy little Negro! Go Wildcat!
Go Wildcats! Go Wildcats! And they better not.
That's why y'all stuck with Marvin, that MAGA now.
That's true. They better not touch y'all though. But that's the thing. They're going for our universities, something that we had to build for ourselves in the first place. The same way I believe the Shade Room was built for a place for Black folks in the first place. But they're going and infiltrating, and people are just handing it over. They're handing it over. They're handing it over. They don't care who gets hurt, but capitalism. That's why we can't, and this is what I'm gonna say. That's why niggas can't never do nothing right together. Never. Because we should be in the streets about this. We should be in the streets about this, not fighting about mundane things online. They are working hard in the background. And you just dumb in the comment section. You just dumb in making thoughts on social media. What are you doing? Nobody asked you to go fight outside, but what are you particularly doing for your community? Because the things that they're dismantling are affecting you, your unborn child, your child, your baby daddy who's supposed to make payments. You ain't gonna get none of it. Yeah. The health care that you need, gone. The job that you wanted, you can't even afford to go live in the city to get the health care for the job, to get the job to give you the health care that you wanted, to pay that car. Nothing. for Black people. That's what they're saying. Nothing for us. Nothing. Sorry, Ben.
Rebecca Azor did not come to play with y'all this morning. She connected the through line all the way through that magnificent. It was like a 15-minute nonstop rant between stories, but they all connected. It was absolutely brilliant because the through line is this. There's always going to be some Negro willing to sell out the best interest of the Black community for a bag. That's what the through line is. That's what Larva MAGA is what I call her. That's what she is. That's what the Shade Room is. I don't know how y'all feel about Baller Alert, but I get the same similar vibes from Baller Alert. Some people might feel a little differently. I don't know. I get the same vibes from Hollywood Unlocked. I get the same vibes from all of these social media platforms. I get the same vibes from Tariq Nasheed. I get the same vibes from it. I mean, it's what it is. Jamal Green over in Chicago. I went to introduce him when he ran for mayor. But
he was on the show.
He's been on the show plenty of times. Apparently losing the mayor made him lose his mind. And now he's out here promoting, talking about sharing a video of white supremacists going after Jesse Jackson and the elders and Jamal Bryant as they were out there protesting. These people, like Jamal Bryant was the youngest amongst them. We're talking about the elders.
Which says a lot.
Jesse Jackson, matter of fact, I should go get the video. Jesse Jackson sitting in
go get the video
in a wheelchair, in a wheelchair, and Jamal Green sharing this, and I'll go get it. But the whole point is this, is that there's always somebody for some reason, whether they're getting cash, I don't know, whether they're getting clout, most of them think they're getting clout, or whether they're getting checks, clicks. That's what they want. If nothing else, they'll do it for clicks. They will sell out our people for clicks.
Trump checks,
Trump clicks, clout, and cash. And I remember Donald Trump was handing out cash to the Black community back in 2016, trying to get votes. And that's when I knew. I said, "Oh no, we in trouble." Because
you know somebody
handing out envelopes for $600.
He handing out $100 over there on Broadway.
It was $600. It wasn't $100. It was $600.
Oh, I didn't even hear about that.
No, that's way back in the day. That's when they had black men for Trump or some kind of foolishness. But the point is like you said, and you connected all of the stories, and they all connect 100%. There's always somebody willing to sell out the Black community, whatever their reason is, even if they're just angry or jealousy or bitterness, right? Whatever it is happening in real time. And while I'm talking about it, let me just put this on the screen. I might as well share. Hang on, there we go. This is Jamal Green. Jamal been on our show many times. I flew to Chicago on my dime.
I remember.
My dime. He ain't paid for nothing. My dime to go introduce him as he was getting ready to run for mayor in Chicago. And this is what he said about, and I want to give the whole context, and I'll play the clip. Please understand, this is Jamal Green saying, please understand, these old fools don't represent Black people. Well, who does? You, Jamal? Is that what you're saying? He said, that's why a majority of those here are seniors who have been hustling Black people for decades. Really, Jamal? The community don't follow them or support them, and we need to stop giving them a platform. You didn't give them a platform. They built a platform before you were born, Jit. And then he says, Black people are not fighting for illegal immigrants, period. And then he slides in illegal as if that justifies. He don't just dislike illegal immigrants. He's a part of this whole, we don't want no immigrants. We don't want no Black immigrants, right? He's a part of this whole, if you a tether, if you ain't born in America.
Wow,
well, I was born in America. So my family go back 7 generations in the United States of America, and all of y'all are lame. All of y'all are whack. But here's the video. Here's the thing. This is a white supremacist. Ben Bergquam from Real America's Voice. That's a pro-MAGA white supremacist outfit. And here's what the question was. Here they are. Look at our elder.
Yes. I understand the boycott against Target, against DEI, yes. But why is the Rainbow Push Coalition supporting illegal aliens if illegal aliens disproportionately affect the Black community jobs?
Say it one more time.
Why is the Rainbow Push Coalition supporting illegal aliens when illegal aliens disproportionately negatively affect the Black community?
That's not true.
It is true. They take jobs, right? But they take your jobs. Legal.
Let me offer.
Nothing.
Thank you so much for coming out today.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
This is.
You got a white man. You sharing. Jamal. I got an issue with this. Jamal Green. Y'all tag him. I'll tag him myself. Matter of fact, I'll clip this and I'm going to reply to it with it. I ain't even going to wait on y'all to do it. I'm going to do it myself because I'm calling all of y'all out. Jamal, first of all, where is the evidence that this guy has to suggest, let's just say they were. Where is the evidence? What statement? What did the Rainbow Push actually say that supports? This is a question just out of.
Jamal was the one sharing the video, or was he one with the camera?
Jamal's the one sharing the video.
Okay.
Jamal's the one, and he's framing it as a way to undermine our elders. Yeah. That's the biggest problem. Look, Jesse Jackson down there done more work in one season, one episode of his life.
And let's be clear.
45-minute episode of his life than Jamal has ever done in the entirety of his life. But go ahead, Rebecca.
No, let's be clear. You think we agree with the things that all these people do? I don't even care to see the pastor up there myself for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, the work that's being done and the people that are accusing or having something to say about it are just, and this is what I compare Jamal to as far as in the political world. You're mad because you're not on the other side of that rope right now because you are a failed mayoral candidate. So
what it is.
Because of that, you had to go on the other side of things.
That's
your grift didn't pay.
That's what it is.
And now it's costing you your mental. So you don't care if you get online to just shuck and jive and do the work. You're somebody who is doing the work in the form of you being contrarian. You're doing the work for MAGA, simply doing the work for MAGA. And that's all it takes is for you to be a bitter person to get online and to push back about these people just standing up there being like, we know there's a level of pushback that you can do, but this ain't the one. Jamal, any black person that has succeeded, the same ones that he used to praise, if you just look back, not even so many years ago, you're now turning your back on, or you're now putting in the pathway of MAGA. And when MAGA sees a black person that has switched over, they love the resume. They're gonna need you to be a real grifter, and they're gonna put you on.
Put some money in your pocket.
Jamal, you haven't been put on yet.
They're gonna make some investments in his real estate company.
Yeah.
He listen. I don't want to get too detailed. I don't want to get too detailed because he like to run up on people. He ran up on Roland Martin in the church. He like to run up on people in the church. You know what I mean? So, and actually, it don't matter to me either way it go. But here's the problem I got.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
When you forward misinformation, where is the information that Rainbow Push supports illegal immigrants? Now, honestly, I hope they do. I hope they are sheltering and creating space and sanctuary for every quote unquote illegal alien on the face of the south side of Chicago. I hope that they are protecting every single one of them. You know why? Because they are the least of these, and we have a mandate to do for the least of these. So I ain't got a problem with it. But this man ran up and asked a question that had no context simply to get clicks. And here Jamal Green is using that, promoting that, amplifying that, and he's doing it in order to attack the elders. my boy, you have no standing. You have no standing in this conversation.
And even what he said, who made you the voice of the people? As he says, well, please understand these fools don't represent Black people. Okay. Because a lot of Black people do turn to them. That's why a majority of those are seniors and have been hustling Black people for decades. And now you, as a younger person, a younger generation, will be somebody who hustles Black people. The community don't follow them. The community don't follow them or support them. We need to stop giving them a platform. J-Mal, the community didn't follow you or support you into mayor of Chicago. And that's why we need to stop giving you a platform. Black people are not fighting for illegal immigrants, period. That's okay. But they're Black. And how do you know they're illegal? Who said? Who said? Who said? In Chicago, do you know that a Haitian immigrant, right? An immigrant who came there and probably without papers, because that was way back then, created Chicago, the same city you wanted to be mayor of? Please stop playing on people's tops. Please stop playing on people's tops, J-Mo.
Here it is. Here it is. Now, I mean, I don't even want to be like this. I don't even be like this, but I am going to be like this because why not? He spent so much time hating on Brandon Johnson all day long, and he only got 2.2% of the vote in Chicago. Brandon Johnson got 21.6%, and I believe that's in the primary.
And I hate to do that because I don't want to talk crazy about people. We're just talking about people, they use their platforms to do that. But in this instance, when you are spewing out,
it's facts. I'm just giving you. Actual information. Rebecca calling me on the carpet on.
No. I'm talking about myself as well. Like when you're spewing out evil and you're responsible for division, we got to go back and show the record. Let the record reflect. And here we're showing why you are the way you are. We're letting the record reflect that you are somebody who tried and failed at something. And then because you failed at something, you have now been guns blazing. You have now been an op. You have now been somebody who's been doing the disservice for the same community that you swore up and down to protect and fight for, because you understood that Black people are not a monolith, but now you are anti everything that isn't Black American.
Anti everything that isn't for him. Because Brandon Johnson is the mayor of Chicago right now is under attack by all of white supremacy, all of MAGA, because he said that he hired Black people, right? And so here Brandon Johnson is making it clear that he made a stand for Black people, and J-Mal Green is constantly, without fail, attacking that man. Now, here I want to say this one last time. I spent my money to fly up there and to introduce him for the campaign because I like the boy. I did. I liked his energy. I like what he did when he was on MSNBC. I was one of the first people to promote him after that. Matter of fact, he sent me an email or a DM thanking me for supporting him, all those kind of things. So this is not, and I got historical beef with like Tariq Nasheed. Like he been blocking me since like 2003. Tariq Nasheed been hiding from me for a very long time. I ain't got a historic beef with J-Mal. My problem with J-Mal is that since he lost that race in Chicago, he been on some other stuff. And if we as Black people don't call out our people who are on a platform, who are using their platform for the worsening of the Black community, then we ain't doing our jobs. And matter of fact, Rebecca, I think that's the problem. This is the barbershop thing. This is what I said about the barbershop a long time ago. We've been going to barbershops for years, and we've been letting them talk about conspiracy for years, talk about ridiculous stuff. Like not all of them, some of them really, brilliant conversations. Love going to the barbershop. But there's always that one barber who's over in the corner who got all the conspiracies, and he the one that's out talking louder than everybody else. And all the cool barbers just let him get away with talking about it. Why? Because he our people. That's our cousin in them. That's our friend in them. That's my boy. We go back to high school, and we have not been correcting misinformation in the Black community for a long time. And what this Ben Berkman from Real America's Voice did was disinformation. It was on purpose. And J-Mal using his platform to amplify it and then to attack the Black elders is disrespectful of the highest order.
And there's no respect anymore, Ben. I hate to sound like that person, but there's no respect anymore. And even these men, there's levels of disrespect I have for these people, but to be in the front of white people and disrespect our elders, knowing that we do have a level of reverence for the people who came before us, who gave us the way to be able to do this. We know all these people do not have clean slates and things of that sort. We understand that, and we will hold them accountable as such. But to be in the place where you are freely giving in a misinformed manner information or making it seem like, just taking the help of MAGA to push your agenda, but it's still pushing MAGA's agenda. It still continue to push the agendas of their forefathers and the people before them. This is exactly what the slave masters wanted. This is the division. They wanted you to stay ignorant while you thought you was the smart one and the one that say, "Oh, master eyes do this," and you wanted to be the one to censor yourself. When Harriet Tubman was doing the movement, you wanted to be the one with your name on the marquee. Enough.
Now you did argue with me for a couple years about your name.
Because my name should have been on that marquee the day I sat next to you on. It should have been there, Ben. But we're not going there. It took a long time. Shouldn't have without a dope beat to step two. But I came here and my name is now on the marquee. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. We're talking about the people that need to censor themselves. And I just wanted to be on the side of it, not in the center. I wanted to be right there on the side.
I want it to happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care who the black quote unquote leader or leaders are. I just need them to win. And I need them to win on behalf of black people. And so if it ain't me, then by all means, let it be whoever it is and let's support them. Right?
Well, I do care who they are, but if they are going for great good. Now,
if they're holding it down for black people, like genuinely, if they are genuinely in it for the betterment of black people, I don't care I don't care what money they make. I don't care how, as long as they are in it for the betterment of black people, I am going to salute them and I'm going to support them. It does not have to center me and it should not have to center anybody. Matter of fact, there should no longer be such thing called the black leader. It needs to be black leaders. And everyone who has a responsibility, a platform, if you don't start perceiving yourself as a black leader who has a responsibility to share the correct information, to make sure that you never, under any circumstances, I don't care how bad it hurts you, you better not ever align with white supremacy. What you fighting immigrants for when the real problem is white supremacy? What you fighting the LGBTQIA community for when the real problem is white supremacy? What are you fighting any of these different groups for when the real problem is white supremacy? How dare you punch down or even across when that white devil has been over this globe since time immemorial, and you think you're going to win by fighting against Nigerians versus fundamental foundational black Americans?
Thank you, Ben, because somebody got to hear it and they're going to keep hearing it all week long. You probably going to hear it all year long because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm going to call it out when I see it. We don't need to be fighting against each other. Rep your set, but we got somebody to fight. We got a system to break down and dismantle. One that's already dismantled our communities, one that's already dismantled our healthcare, one that's already dismantled our mental, one that's already dismantled our housing. Everything is done for us. Give it up. Give it up. Stop turning the swords on each other. Give it up. Enough. And Ben, talking about enough, what's happening in LA? Because I know that this is the fight that the FBA and all them says that they don't want to do. This is what's happening in LA. You got people who are fighting for immigrants, and here is what the police and ICE are doing. That's an elderly man that's been pushed down. You're talking about elderly Ben. This is an elderly man that's being pushed down. This was shared by Lance, who works with me with Let This Mafia, Lance of the Surfs, and he shared this, and I thought this was crazy. First, this older man gets hit with a baton, pushed by the horse, and then pushed down. You know, it don't take nothing but a little brush. He was strong enough to take the push from the horse and the baton on the arm. They done pushed him down, and this is for fighting for the rights of legal immigrants. Not only legal immigrants, people, humanity of all immigrants. I don't care if they're illegal, in between, on the side, in the middle of paperwork. People, humanity, and they're being abused. They're threatened. They're threatened with the horses. They're threatened with batons. Then they're physically abused, hands on body, pushed.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable pocket hose copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free pocket pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Pushed. And y'all out here fighting, saying, well, my ancestors going to. It's one thing, and this is what I said to you yesterday, Ben, as we were speaking. I would take this from you. I would take this from people, because in the beginning, when Kamala lost, of course, we were all in our emotions and our feelings, especially Black women, just stressed out. All of us just damn sad, Ben. I would understand in that time we said we wanted to rest because we knew that the days ahead would be hard. And we knew that right now we just needed to rest. We didn't know when. So all we could say is that we are going to lay our burdens down right here and lay with it. That's it. Now, when we started to realize that the shade room started continuing a little stronger, a little harder with MAGA's work, and the streets started to sow more discord when it came to the idea of the diaspora wars. We started seeing that come out just out of nowhere, right? But it's always been there. But now everyone's talking about it. Donald Trump saying that the Black immigrant group is indeed the worst immigrant group. We also seen it under the Biden administration on how he treated Black immigrants. So this is just not a Trump thing. Although Trump is going harder and calling them out by name, we have seen that the system in America only functions under immigration policy when it's not Black. It excludes Black. There is no real immigration policy that includes Black people, and putting Black people in here systemically with due process, because there's never any due process written in for Black people. Let's be clear about that. But I say all this to say, this is what we're seeing. This is what people are fighting for. And I would rather the people who say they're not going to fight just say as a Black person, because I understand this as a Black person being the one out there. I know that I will be targeted differently than the ones out there. I would be abused probably a little bit more, a little bit, the way they look at a Mexican, they'll probably look at me worse, because again, they don't know if your Black behind is out there as an immigrant or as a Black American. They don't give a damn. They just see an ER. Please understand.
Come on.
Please understand. They're not looking to check if you're a part of the 92% or the 80-something%. They're not looking to check if you are FBA. They are not looking to check if you are ADOS. They see a ER. They don't care. Wide nose, full lips, almond eyes.
Come on.
Your Black behind is going wherever they say go. They already treat Black Americans systemically incorrectly. They already treat anything Black in this country in whatever system is treated like the worst. There's no need for us to turn on each other and say, you're not my type of Black. You're not my type of Black. Right now is not the damn time, because they're looking at us like you're still all Black. We don't care what type of Black you are. Latino, because now there's some kind of imaginary concept that Black only comes in American in the online space. Please hang it up. Again, I was telling you, Ben, online is dumb.
Yes.
They're dumb. They will stick with dumb because it validates their stupidity and their thoughts and their xenophobia. They're prejudiced. It validates that for them. Oh, y'all just hate the messenger. No, the message is wrong, sister. Brother, the message is wrong.
Preach.
We don't hate the messenger. The message is wrong.
That's right.
And that's just all I got to say about that. I'm going to fight, and my Black behind going to fight from the inside. I'm going to fight these rights. I'm going to sign petitions. I'm going to talk this talk. I'm going to make it do what it do. I'm going to secretly, because even in my city, I was secretly this weekend walking with the No Kings. And I was shocked for that to be in my neighborhood. I thought I was going out for brunch, but the Lord had other plans, because they was out there protesting, and there I was with them. You didn't even know, Ben. In my predominantly white space where I live at, them white folks was outside protesting for the immigrants.
Listen, there's always going to be, at the moment that there should be complete and total solidarity, there's going to always be operatives there to divide it. It happened in 2020. I'll never forget, and I'll call you by name, Glenn Greenwald, because I've had you on my show and I've been on your show plenty of times. I never would forget asking myself, why is Glenn Greenwald not seizing this moment to help amplify the protest that is going on globally? Because this is a prime moment for the people to rise up against the very authority that Glenn Greenwald thinks that he opposes. Little did I know that he doesn't actually oppose that. He's actually a tool of control opposition on behalf of those powers. So is Tariq Nasheed. So are so many of these people who have now taken the genuine rest, I almost said West, the genuine rest that Black women wanted and needed, and Black men, like a lot of folks were really, really fractured after Kamala Harris lost. And so they needed to take a beat to get their wits about them. But now they've transformed that, not all of them. There's some who have just transformed it into a brand. And now that it's become a brand, it can become weaponized. And what are they doing with this rest? Oh, we're resting. We're not going to participate in anything. Really? Now, that's not all Black women. Clearly, there's plenty of Black women all over the country who are on the front lines, even still today. But what have we seen? We've seen the same type of people like the Shade Room, the same type of people like Hollywood Unlocked, the same type of mentality, people who know how to get a t-shirt sold. They put it on there. And anytime they see an opportunity to tweet that message, oh, I'm not standing up for them because I'm resting. It's the same thing they have done to every revolutionary thought and person throughout history. They co-opt it, they transform it, and then they roll it out in the service of white supremacy. And so, yes, now the message is wrong. It wasn't wrong after the election. It wasn't wrong for however long if there's a Black person out there who still needs rest genuinely. Matter of fact, my wife is resting right now. And I don't do nothing. I'm cooking lunch. I gotta get off here in a minute. I gotta go cook lunch for these kids. I'm doing the dishes. Well, I'm making them wash some dishes and I'm washing the clothes. She needs rest. If you need rest, by God, you better get it. But collectively, we better still be ready for boots on the ground action, whether it's outdoors or indoors. Here's the last thing. Let me ask you this. All those people who are taking the time to say, I'm not going to support immigrants, I'm getting rest. Ain't nobody ask you to go out to LA and do nothing. Sometimes all they asking you to do is to either tweet in support or just be quiet. You're doing more work tweeting out, I'm getting rest. You ain't actually resting. You're branding and you're performing, and you are dividing this global solidarity that we need to have in this moment, just like Glenn Greenwald and his group of people did back in 2020. I rest my case.
That's absolutely it, Ben. But you said a very, very, very huge point that I think people are missing. Nobody asked you. You got online and you could have been quiet. You could have sat there and ate your fried chicken. You could have sat there and ate your burrito. You could have sat there and ate your grill. You could have sat there and shut up. But there you were. You had to get online and say, and the first time I saw it, I said, I didn't say anything about it. I hope that Black people are resting in LA today. And that was before I was aware of what was happening in LA in this full capacity, right? And then when I saw that, hey, these are immigrants that are fighting, and it's a very small group of people, and it's not immigrants, it's immigrants and allies, right? It's products of immigrants. It's all of that. It's a lot of people out there, but it ain't enough for them to say there's some kind of war going on. It started with one man with the flag that turned into other people wanting to come stand out there, that turned into other protests around the nation. And here goes your beat head behind, bald headed, low neck, thick neck people online saying, I hope that Black folks are resting. It's 3:00 in the morning. Clearly you're not. You're not.
You're not resting.
You're
what are we doing?
But you got online to use these fingers because you couldn't sleep with the roaches in your home. You couldn't sleep with the evil spirits hanging over your bed. So what you did, because your man ain't text you back, your woman is out there in the streets having a good time on vacation because you were upset. You got online to sow discord. The people that are losing, like Jamal Green, you see, they become ops and they get online to hate on certain groups of people and certain things to validate validate themselves and their sadness and their hates for people in this moment. And they just get online to sow that hate. And here you are, they turn from your little raggedy post because you hate yourself so much, your little raggedy post, knowing that you would never get up anyways. You was not one of the people that went to go vote. You were the person that held your vote, knowing you didn't give a damn about the Palestinians, but you sat down and you didn't vote for that lady because you and your household perform and shuck and jive and misogyny, right? So you didn't go vote for that lady. But now you saying that you want to rest. Here's the thing about that too. You would have never went to a protest if it was down the street from your house.
That part.
Shut up.
So all your work entails is tweeting, and then there you go doing work to say you ain't doing work. Losing rest to say that you're getting rest. That's virtue signaling of the highest order. That's performative. Let's lay that to bed. Now, genuinely, if you, because listen, how many years did I take off from this game, Rebecca, for this commentary?
It was only a year. A year.
I feel like 2 years.
It wasn't 2 years. You went crazy for one and took off for another. I did too. We all went through. We lost it for a second.
So you got to get rest so that you can get healthy. You can't go out there and fight wounded. Nobody needs. Lord, I was gonna say Wounded Warriors. My goodness, that's actually a wonderful organization. You should support them. But nobody needs wounded people out there trying to fight wounded, unless it's just a total all-out war and we ain't got no choice. If you need rest, get rest, but don't let that rest become performative and divisive and sow discord amongst the brethren and the sisterin and the otherin.
Yep. And I actually wanted to cover one more story, Ben, and we're out of here. Keep you on time to go get with your children and make sure.
Yeah, and I got to get on Pascal in a second over there on Pascal.
Yeah, I got you. I promise. We're out here in 10 minutes. I actually wanted to cover I don't have all the full details on it, but the shootings that happened, I want to say in Minnesota.
Yeah.
With the two leaders of senators, I believe the senator that was shot, and there were two state leaders that were shot, but one and her husband, and they died with a man who was posing as an officer, had the outfits and everything, and posed as an officer, but that's because he worked as something. But I don't have the full story, but I wanted to quickly touch on it because I didn't want to miss it at all.
Yeah. No, and what's really bad about this moment, and I hate to skip past the lead, what's really, really even making this worse is that MAGA is spending a lot of energy making this guy seem as though he was a Democrat when he was a Donald Trump supporting Republican who went on a shooting spree. His name is Vance Bolter. And he went on a shooting spree, not a shooting spree, but an assassination.
This man was a terrorist. This is the definition of what he did and who he is to me when I went on. He is a Dem assassin. I know people were trying to confuse, saying that is he a Democrat assassin?
No.
Absolutely. He's actually an assassin that is assassinating Democrats. That was his whole thing. He had more people to go and visit. I think some major names.
Go after the governor, Tim Walz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, Tim Walz, a couple of other people. He had a list in his manifesto that he left behind. And when the cops got there, let's take a listen. Well, not a listen. If there is audio, I would love to hear it. But when the cops got there, this was the latest news that I seen. When the cops did get to the scene, they seen him actively shooting the husband at the time and left. So they couldn't stop him then. They ran to go save the husband, but there was another couple that was also shot. So he was able to successfully shoot 4 people, killing 2 of them from what I know right now. The other 2, I believe, were in critical condition that worked in the office or had some kind of state leadership for both of the connections and their spouses. So that was the thing. And this person, you said the Vance Bolter worked for the government in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he was on an advisory council, but and this is where Republicans are doing their most insidious double speak propaganda. This advisory council that was appointed by Governor Walz was inherited, right? And it was a bipartisan council, right? It was Democrats and Republicans. He had been previously appointed by the previous governor. And so when that appointment came up again, what do most governors do? They just reapprove the same council over again. But because of that, Republicans have said, oh no, this guy worked for Tim Walz. This is the level of misinformation, disinformation, because it's very intentional.
Wow.
We don't want to have a news cycle where it's very clear that a Donald Trump supporting maggot went and assassinated 2 Democrats.
You see what I'm saying, Ben? That's such a great point that you put there. They wanted to go when in the beginning of the whole conversation, they wanted to spin it immediately, even in how they're phrasing it, like dim assassin. They want people to be confused in their wording, about who and what exactly this person was. And the fact that the police seen him, and this is what I want people to understand, being black and being white, being a white person and murdering a state leader. The state leader looks you in the police officer look you in your eyes as you shoot the state leader and their husband
and let you go.
You walk to your vehicle and you get to escape, and they found you 2 days later near your home, meaning that you were probably there, right? You were probably in the area. You probably slept that night, all the things. And they finally got you, and they said that you came out and they didn't have to, throw you on the ground. You complied, all the things. But that would have never been a black man's story.
Nah.
Shot on sight, wouldn't have been able to leave. As soon as he shot and through the house, he would have been shot on right there. Why didn't they shoot? Why did they allow him to go do other work? Or why, when they found out that he was still dangerous, armed and dangerous, is he a preacher?
He was trying to do something. He reminds me of the African Angels, Paula White.
I think we watched this, Ben, actually. Did you not play this in your evangelical stuff?
No, this is my first time seeing it.
Older than that?
It's a little, but this is the assassin, and this is the guy that they want you to think was a Democrat. Not that a Democrat but I think Democrats, before they get on stage, they at least try to have a little bit more anointing than that. But I digress. But you can just listen to him and listen to what he's saying.
Just as excited about Jesus.
Et je suis juste excité
right
de
here,
Jésus.
right now.
Jusqu'à présent, même maintenant.
And when I get excited,
et quand je suis excité,
I want to dance.
Je veux danser.
And what Jesus did for me.
C'est que Jésus a fait pour moi.
Jesus is God.
Jésus est Dieu.
God.
C'est le Dieu puissant.
He saved my life.
Il a sauvé ma vie.
I'm excited about God.
Je suis excité de Dieu.
And I want to worship Him.
C'est pourquoi je l'adore.
Because He's coming again. And
Jésus, il revient encore.
And He's got plans.
Il a
plans
and
purposes.
Et le dessein
for each one of you.
Pour chacun de vous ici.
And for me.
Et pour moi aussi.
Okay. Yeah, cut it. So the 57-year-old former security contractor and evangelical Christian, he once ran a security firm, and this is what he was trying to do. He was trying to preach overseas. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that overseas and come here and preach and are successful. And a lot of white people, of course, evangelize and abuse the communities afar, and that's how they make a coin. We know that, especially within the church community. A lot of people will go online and they will prey on those communities. And none of his shouting gave me that there was no oil on that man.
Lick of anointing.
There was not no oil on that man.
Not a lick of anointing.
It was not Crisco. It wasn't canola.
It wasn't even blue. Or it was not. It was so. It was so conjured. It was so, he was working so hard, and the black folks who you got some white folks who really do know the anointing, right? You got some anointed white folks, but the black folks in that audience who are birthed out of the anointing, they're like, this nigga need to go sit his little boy.
This man, it's nothing there, not a lick of oil. He came there for a coin, and then people said, we ain't got it for you. Because the audience was sitting there like, ain't nothing on this man, ain't no anointing, he ain't got no oil.
But here's a part that's really, really, really dangerous and replicated, right? These people, these white Christian nationalist devils, they read the Bible in a way that gives them license to kill, to go and commit crusades, to go and commit the Inquisition, right? These are the people who use it and say, oh, well, the Amalekites were genocided, so let's go ahead and genocide Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
right? These are the same, white evangelicals who support Israel's genocide of Gaza because they just, for all the reasons. I don't have to go into the end time prophecy part of it, but they don't really even like Jewish people. But they are the type who get on stage and they try to feign as though they got the Holy Spirit when they're operating in the spirit of colonialism and cruelty. And we see what happens. This man probably prayed. He probably prayed before he went to kill those two Democratic leaders. And he probably thinks he's done it in the name of Jesus. And I got news for you, brother. You're doing it in the name of white supremacy, in the name of Donald Trump. That's who you serve, not Jesus.
Absolutely. And he has a history of deep conservative views. We know that. Voting for Donald Trump, like you just said, held strong anti-abortion and anti-LGBTQ beliefs and reportedly disrupted or distributed sermons against abortion. We know that. I don't think that's reportedly. I think you can really find that online. The authorities found a notebook with the manifestos in his vehicle, like I was saying earlier. Now, he had 70 potential targets. Okay. And the ones that were he was targeting, they were potentially pro-choice. Not potentially, they were pro-choice, pro-LGBTQIA, and of course left-wing. Now, the ones that he really wanted to get were, you stated, is the governor, Tim Walz, and he wanted to get Representative Ilhan Omar. The victims, I wanted to get their names clear because I still wanted people to know that this is who he was going after. He got this level of people. Of course, locally, the victims are former Minnesota, and then we had to put former, right? Because now that left a seat empty. So former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark, they were fatally shot in their Brooklyn Park home, right, in Minnesota. State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. So be clear, he didn't just shoot Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband. He also shot others. Melissa ended up passing away with her husband, Mark, and they were fatally shot in their home. But State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were also shot at their residence, but they survived and they were expected to recover. Critical condition. Now, the operation was statewide, a manhunt for a man who got into his car or whatever he did. Cops looked at him after he done shot into the home and continued on and let that be a 43-hour manhunt where somebody was at, like, literally harmful in the community, free, right? And at large. But that's the thing. I pointed out because Melissa is no longer, and I'm sorry to her and her family.
Yeah.
That seat now is available, which is giving, I think, more leniency or leaning more towards the right. And they're looking to fill that position. But that's why I was like, is he doing somebody's dirty work as well? Like, is this for the Senate? I think about these things because everybody, even if they're not doing it directly from the orders of, all these manifestos come from them reading things like Project 2025. All these things come from them, like, going down and watching things that they believe are anti-Christian, even though everything that Donald Trump does doesn't even line up with the things that this man is preaching about or whatever. But they will look at this and think that they are doing the Lord's work. Nobody asked them to do this, but this cult that they're in, they are out here doing the Lord's work. And here it is. That's what I saw too. I saw that they exchanged gunfire with him, according to the police reports, and then he ran off. They towed his vehicle, but he still ran off on foot. He ran off on foot
and got away.
And got away. He faces 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. The federal charges are also in discussion. Officials like Senator Klobuchar and Governor Walz have labeled the shootings as, of course, politically motivated. We know that, but the right doesn't want to say. They want to change up the verbiage, noting clear ideological motivations related to abortion and political affiliation. That's exactly what it is. The thing is, he pretended to be a cop, impersonating a cop. Ain't that, there's like a bigger legal thing. I think they want to go federal with that, but you impersonated law enforcement. That's how he got into the homes. That's how he got into the homes. And here we are, like, this is a terrorist attack. I
That's
know
right.
people don't like to say things for what they are. You know, they still calling January 6th an insurrection when that is a domestic terrorist attack. Then you got to be able to use the words where they belong, right? You love due process and bringing up those type of things. And this is a terrorist attack, and it should be treated as such. But just because it's one of your white male counterparts that die for MAGA, they're gonna go real soft on him, Ben.
Yeah. In the comment section, like somebody said it like this. Braxton said that we're in a civil war. We're at war. Govern yourselves accordingly. And Jan Toon Nika said civil war isn't what it used to look like. And this is what I was doing. The research that I was doing, it was pertaining to Black people and the threat, the targeted attacks that we can expect towards Black people. I simply didn't I didn't tune the question to ask what kind of threat should we expect on Democrats. Because that's the immediate, that's the hottest thing right now is the language that they're using to work up violence, political specific violence towards the Democratic Party. But the fact of the matter is across every level, maggots have worked themselves up into a violent frenzy against Democrats. So it doesn't matter what color you are, right? Against women, right? Against the LGBTQIA community, very specifically against Black people. Mm-hmm. And so category after category after category against immigrants, right? Again, can't not say that. They're coming after all of us through the law, through breaking the law, through violence. And to me, that signals, Rebecca, that's all the more reason that every single one of us who is being targeted by this evil, we better not go to sleep and rest while everyone else is fighting the battle that they are already targeting us in. How foolish would it be for us to sleep while white supremacy is currently going after immigrants, while white supremacy in the form of MAGA, because that's what it purely is. It's purely white supremacy. Let me flip it. I want to flip this thing off of Black folks for 1 second and say to the Democratic Party, if you do not understand now that what you're fighting up against is not just MAGA and Republicans, but it is the white supremacy underneath it, the kind of white supremacy that has been violent throughout world history and has shown you time and again how many people they will kill to keep power. Man, I don't know what to tell you, Democrats.
They're not, I don't think we should keep even talking to they ball headed behinds, because at this point, like I said, we got to it's not beat them, join them. It ain't none of that over here when it comes to that. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. And if you don't want to be a part of this, get out my way.
Come on.
Get out of my way. I am tired of trying to hold your hand when I say this. I am tired of saying, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I am not move. Somebody behind you need this message. Move, because you're blocking the way for someone else to get through in their wheelchair. Move, get out the way. Get out the way, as they said out here in Atlanta. Ludacris once said that, and they just go. Because I'm so tired of it. This is a time right now. Y'all want to stick on diaspora awards. I'm just going to check you and keep it moving forward. I don't want to be. We do not have to be challenged anymore or keep ourselves. That's what keeps ourselves in the wars of fighting each other, while MAGA keeps making plans as they fight together. But they're like tumbleweed. They gonna move in the same direction. They gonna keep rolling. Us, we just sitting there arguing oil and water, knowing they ain't like just it's you. And then the one time we be on the same accord, that lasts about 2 seconds because somebody gonna drop something and say, oh, that's a distraction. And it don't really be a distraction, it just be dumb. It's just dumb. It really just be dumb. And then everybody pours into that dumb moment, not remembering that over here they are taking away funding from the school to give it to their political pick.
That's right.
MAGA pick to her salary. You're forgetting that over here, right over here, that big, beautiful bill, it doesn't include you, beloved. Like, why are you not getting that? You're forgetting that over here, you thought that you were going to be, their misogynoir was going to work for you under this white administration, Mr. Immigrant. But you went to go vote for Donald Trump and you can barely speak English. He wouldn't look your way. You wasn't the immigrant. It was the Afrikaners that came here the other day on a red carpet. But it wasn't you. That's why you
sweaty, sloppy, greasy, ain't never missed a meal in their life. Afrikaners talking about genocide.
They was full. They was feeling good.
They was so full. They went on the stage burping up new food. They had just man. Anyway, Rebecca, let's read these super chats.
But I have more to cover on later. So just be on the lookout for that video dropping on later today. Go ahead, Ben. Let's get to the super chat.
Tiger, thank you for the super chat. There are so many instances of MAGA violence this weekend, shootings, assassinations, and people driving into protesters.
Absolutely.
MAGA dude drove into a crowd of protesters near me in Virginia. Be safe. And don't forget, the governor of down there in Florida gave them permission, saying to run them over. Right? They think we ain't paying attention. We need to pay attention. Sunflower Gardens, this is to your channel, Rebecca, saying just supporting Rebecca because I am a Rebecca stan.
And I'm a Sunflower stan. Thank you.
Same thing from Lizzie. Lizzie Bennett sent it at the beginning of the show, sending my love and support to Rebecca.
Receive it. Thank you, Lizzie.
Tiger sent some love over there to Rebecca's channel. Rebecca, nothing pops up for you on Blue Sky because you have to build your own algorithm. Facebook, X, and Threads make an algorithm for you. I had the same problem until starting building my own algorithm and interacting with it.
I put some work into it.
I didn't know that. All that I know about our algorithms, I didn't know that. This was on Rebecca's channel. Rebecca, you cleared out. We loves you, Rebecca. Keep using your beautiful voice to keep everyone animated or aroused, as Bernie would say.
Thank you, Omega. Omega gave it up today. Thank you, Omega. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Omega went and sent a super sticker to my channel. I appreciate that super sticker. Not as much as yours sent over, but I ain't Rebecca. I'm not Rebecca, so I get that. I understand. Rebecca said if we reach 100K in donations, she'll drop posters. I might be quoting her wrong.
We do need 100K in donations, and if not, I'll be on. I'll be doing what's that thing called? OnlyFans. Y'all be getting exclusive content, baby.
Omega Star sent another $1.99 super chat, super sticker. Plastic Roses over there on your channel saying thank you for all your good work, all you do. Y'all voices are so important. I know it's not much, but I want to give what I can.
Thank you, Plastic Roses. That's just enough. Just you being on here and giving. Thank you so much.
And you know what? Omega Star sent the next. I'm not going to click on. I guess I can click on
10 because I do this thing with a goal where I'm like 10 super chats and Omega Star. She's love that they feed looking like ain't nobody giving and will give for the 10 and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Omega Star.
Sheila Bledson sent this to the wrong channel, but we thank you anyway. Rebecca, at least an ice cream cone. I hope. No, my kids are really going to enjoy that ice cream cone. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate
give it to the kids. Thank you, Sheila, because you blessing Ben, you blessing me. Thank you.
There it is. Tiger sent 5. We're witnessing the movement of modern day brown shirts in real time. We need to make sure everyone who isn't plugged in connects the dots immediately. That's a fact. Oh, wait a minute. So I need somebody like Candace Owens, Marx's body double in my chat. But wait a minute, that's so rude to me.
Don't skip over William.
I skipped right over William because William, brother, thank you so much for sending this to my channel. I'm gonna appreciate those $2. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take them $2. I'm gonna get me a 2-for-1 slushie for my kids. For me, because I can't do all the sugar, but I'm gonna get it for my kids right there. Thank you.
Thank you, William.
Man, it really means a lot. Candace coming through.
Candace.
Over there on Rebecca's channel. That's half a bill right there. That'll pay like half a lights.
That'll pay the light because over here in this house, the only time the lights stay on is when I'm on this channel. Once that God gave us natural light through the window, and that's what I've been using. I thank you, Candace. I thank you, everybody who is giving. Thank you, Candace, for your huge donation. That's actually going to pay the lights, and it's going to keep StreamYard open. Oh, not low set. I heard if we drop 100K, Ben will drop posters. Oh yeah, Ben, show them. Oh, now listen. We are going to make it exclusive, baby. OnlyFans will be Poppington exclusive content. Yeah. Drop that 100K and we'll know what to do with
it. I'll be like that episode of Different World when Whitney Gilbert Photoshop somebody else's body on Dwayne's face. That's what it's gonna be for me. There you go.
I love that.
All right, y'all. All right. Now
I want to also say somebody just sent in a Cash App. I appreciate that.
First name, last initial. Don't say the whole name.
Oh yeah, just say Braxton. So Braxton, showing love. I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And I wanted to make sure Emberly. I don't know if I got you because I know we didn't do this last weekend, but Emberly, I appreciate you as well. Thank you, Denise and Shelby. I love you guys. Mean it. Ben.
I need to thank two people who sent me some for my birthday. They came through and they came through hard for your boy. I just got to see. There it is. There it is. Happy Pastor. I had to check an email. There it is. I got from what the name is. Wait a minute. I don't see the name.
What the name is.
I had to find it. I have to find it later. I can't find it. Hang on. Let me put in the amount because they sent a nice amount. Carrie S. Thank you so much for that birthday. And Braxton, thank you for that birthday gift, as well as it was one other person. Where is the other individual? Emberly.
Emberly, see? Yeah, Emberly. We shout out the same folks. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for the love for my birthday.
No, thank you guys.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Candace.
Oh.
Hey.
You see?
And I ain't even had to do nothing strange for the change. Look at that. God
we ain't had to shake nothing. We ain't had to show a little nothing. We ain't said thank you. Thank you so much. No.
They still coming in. Wait a minute. Katrina, thank you so much for that super sticker. We really appreciate that. And then MME Princess, listen, watch that
picture.
Look, I know how to use $1.49. I can tell you exactly what I can get at the grocery store with it.
Even though they only sending you 50 cents.
That's fine. I'll go to the discount counter with the can that got a little dent in it. I'm going to have a whole meal off that $1.49. Y'all asked me about how I make some liver bean burgers, and you can't even taste the liver. It tastes so good. Black bean liver burgers. Find out about it. All right, Rebecca. Listen, I got 14 minutes to get these kids fed and then to get over there to...
Please get the kids fed. But thank you. I had a really great time. Listen, one thing we always going to do is catch up. If we miss you on a Saturday, just know that during the week, we got you. But as always, I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Let the algorithm know that we are here. And thank you so much for your support. You already know where you guys can support us on Cash App, Becca's Voice. And for Ben...
nowhere right now, but what you do is, though, I want y'all to just send me your messages. What you could do, don't even worry about sending me a Cash App, because soon I'm gonna have the Hey Pastor Ben Cash App. But right now it's heypastorben@gmail.com. If you need technical support, AI, that's me. If you need moral support, that's me. If you need political support, that's me. If you need whatever, if you just need somebody to listen to what you were going through and want somebody who can just kind of sound off for, I got you. So send me a message and I want to talk to you.
I love you guys. Mean it. And I'll see you next week. And I promise you, I didn't skip Saturday because I went and got braids. Love y'all. Work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show like it or not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture.